This is a video of our Christmas lights for 2011. Start back here at our shed. We have some incandescent clear icicle lights going around the sides and the front. They end right there at the, let's see. Wreath on the door. Have these little spiral trees, incandescent clear, and a steel frame with incandescent green lights wrapped around it, and icicle lights plugged in there, run down here to the window, and all these are plugged in right there to the end of those, and then those plug into that, runs inside, and so those run inside to this timer. Plugs in there, set for 5 p.m. to midnight. You can adjust it, it's digital. There's that. In front of the pond we have penguin incandescent with 200 blue lights on its white wire. It's white wiring. They're blue lights. Let's plug into here. This three-way splitter is plugged into a 50-foot 16-gauge extension cord. Runs over to this tree, which has the same setup as I just showed you. Penguin. That. Right by the road. It's plugged into same three-way thing. There's the 50-footer comes in, plugs in there. That's where the penguin and the blue lights are plugged into. This runs up the tree, another three-way power tap, which has all the lights for this tree plugged into it. It's better, you can see me easier at night, but there's, I believe, over 1,000 incandescent multicolor lights on there. And to power that, it runs a 100-foot extension cord, 16 gauge, all the way to this three-way tap, which is plugged into a green, I believe 16 gauge, and I believe 40-foot green outdoor extension cord, which plugs into another timer, which has another three-way grounded three-way splitter, which plugs into a GFCI outlet. I'll show you that detail. GFCI timer set for 5 p.m. to 12 midnight. They give you extra, green is on of course and red's off. They give you another set, but I lost the green one, I have to find that. Three-way splitter, and there's the 40-foot. Now this one is a 15-foot ungrounded extension cord, which runs up from there to the roof for the LEDs that outline the roof. Those run almost on both sides of the house and the entire front. They're on right now, it's just hard to see because it's still light out. There's roughly 10 set of those, and they're 25 lights a piece. They all plug into the same outlet because they're LEDs. They don't use as much electricity, so you can plug in a lot of strands. Now this is was also plugged in that three-way that I showed you earlier. LEDs and more LEDs on the top. And all I just showed you is plugged into the same timer. LEDs run all the way across there, all the way in to the other side. I'll show you later. There's a third power source. This is not GFCI, although it should be, but it was built a few years back, so it doesn't really matter. Haven't got shocked yet. Here's a 10-foot 16 gauge outdoor ground extension cord which runs to this timer, which has 6 outlets in it. Open it. The same setup as the other timer I just showed you. Have 6 outlets filled. And there's quite a bit running out of that, so I'll show you that. There's where the comes in, the power for it comes into the box, and I'll show you the first one that comes out. Extension cord, 3 ways again. Small tree with LEDs on it. The brown extension cord goes to outlines a window and LEDs. And this green extension cord runs all the way back here to the activity scene, which runs 2 50 sets of LED white or clear lights over the top, and another 3-way splitter, extension cord, and the plastic activity scene figures plug into. Jesus needs a brighter light. I have to get that. It has a 4-watt, needs a 7-watt. But Mary and Joseph both have 60-watt incandescents in them, and that works pretty good. Might put CFLs in, I don't know. LEDs around the window again, and that plugs into that. You know, over here, back to the box. Have unlit garland across the front porch, and this tree is plugged directly into that 6-way box. LEDs again, and various extension cords run, and another LED, and another LED, another one, even more yet. And another extension cord runs up front porch. Powers the lights around the window, LED again. And another extension cord branches off that and runs the LEDs around the window, or the door, with a wreath on the door as well. Let's see. We got a lot of extension cords coming out here. Let's see, the green one runs here. One of those LED small trees plugs in, and a 25-foot orange extension cord runs out to the lamp post, which powers those LEDs. And this red CFL 60-watt equivalent, 13-watt actual usage, is on a separate switch, so that has to be manually turned on and off outside of what the timers control. It'd be better if it was on a timer, but that's the way it is. And once again, my favorite little thing, nice 3-way splitter, another 50-foot orange extension cord running to this tree all the way up to here, which has the LEDs that are supposed to replicate C9 incandescents. They're not as bright, but they use a heck of a lot less electricity, and those go all the way up. There's a lot of those. It still needs more, but we didn't have any more. I'm not spending any more money on them. Maybe at the end of the season we can buy more. What's that? Back here. Do have two wreaths unlit at both peaks. It'd be nice if they're lit. Might do that next year. Out of this box again, we have another 40-foot outdoor extension cord that runs all the way to a three-way splitter, which powers this tree, and another 25-foot extension cord goes over there. I'll show you that in just a second. And then we have a brown extension cord which plugs in here, and window LEDs, this tree and that tree, and window with LEDs, and that tree as well. All LEDs here. 25-foot extension cord runs across the sidewalk. Hopefully nobody trips over it. Don't want to get sued. This tree, which is all LEDs. And there are the, I showed you earlier the LEDs along the roof line. Those are supposed to replicate C9 incandescent bulbs. The spacing is much closer than actual C9 incandescents would be, and they're not as bright, but they still look pretty good. They use a heck of a lot less electricity. And from okay, the 25-footer runs across the sidewalk as I showed you, and here it splits, and the LEDs for this tree plug in, and another 100-foot extension cord. Couldn't use a 50 because that would be too short. 100-footer is kind of long, but that's what I had to use. 100-foot extension cord went across the front lawn. To this tree. 700 incandescent mini lights. That extension cord plugs in the green power tap three-way splitter thing, and those are plugged in, and they light up this tree. Once again, I have another 100-foot extension cord runs across underneath the driveway in a PVC, I believe it's a 2-inch or an 1.5-inch PVC pipe that's buried underneath the driveway. It comes up there, 100-foot extension cord, and lights up this tree with, I believe, 700 incandescent mini lights, multicolor, and those plug in here. And this extension cord runs up. I had to plug in some all the way up there. And that's the third source of the outlet that everything's plugged into. Other tree, and give you some perspective. There's the LEDs on that one, and two incandescent, or the one incandescent tree with the two penguins. The one tree is lit up, but didn't have enough lights for the second tree with the penguin underneath it. There's a house activity scene. And as I showed you earlier, there's a plane. By the way, this camera is an Canon SX1IS, full 1080p video, 20 times optical zoom. They're on the SX30IS, I believe now. I got this camera a few years back. And here's the fourth source outlet, I don't know what to call it, but there's the 3 incandescent clear snowflakes that are plugged in to a 100-foot extension cord which runs down the antenna mast. Back behind all this crap, and through under this door that isn't sealed very well, but I'm not fixing it, it's not my job, into plugs in to another timer which is set for, once again, 5 p.m. to midnight. Most of the timers come on around the same time. They're not perfectly synced, but it really doesn't matter. It's just Christmas lights. And if you're wondering about the antenna, you just put this antenna up this summer, so we get HD. We do have cable, but it's not HD. We're not paying extra for the HD, so you can get the free local HD channels. It runs down, and that's it. Might come back out to get some footage when it's darker out, and when I get my kilowatt electricity usage meter, I'll plug that in and see how much these lights are actually using. I'm sure the LEDs are using a lot less than the incandescents, but we'll see how much less. See you later.